Welcome to Chess on the Brain. All right, so let's do some tactics training. I have a tournament coming up this weekend, the Washington Chess Congress. So I want to do some training, and hopefully that'll be useful to break down some of the ideas behind these tactics. I really like the first one here. It reminds me of a tactic from the book Chess Tactics for the Tournament Player. So where's the beginning of it? Okay, I'll just replay this one because I thought this one was really nice. So think about how this one starts. It's a tricky idea, but once you know the idea, you have it. So you could see this pressure with the queen. I don't think we could do arrows on here, can we? No, we can't do arrows, but just with that little hand, you could kind of tell. So playing for black here, we could see the pressure through the knight, like the X-ray on the D4 pawn. And we also see that the space between the two queens, a knight's distance apart, creates some tactical possibilities given that we can take the queen potentially with a check and we can recapture the queen. So the second I saw this, see, if I hadn't done that tactic, I wouldn't have known. But the second I saw this one, I was like, oh, I remember that one from the books. That's why the core, pattern training will help you. As Neil Bruce does, I'll give a shout out to Neil Bruce on at Neil Bruce BC on Twitter. So he does thousands of cards. Now other people are at Black Atlantic. I saw other people on this hashtag ChessPunks, a nice chess community on Twitter that I got involved with. Just sharing a lot of ideas about tactics and games or whatever. So yeah, he just does a bunch of flashcards and it ingrains those patterns in your mind. So check it out. I'd really recommend it. So we begin with this. We start with knight takes, rook takes back, and this is the kicker here is the knight to g3. Now you say, well, maybe knight to c3. Somehow this just feels right. What is the real difference? Knight to here. Oh, because the knight would take. But if you go here, the difference would be that if you go here when the knight takes, it obstructs the diagonal leading to that rook. So we see here, for instance, if he were to let us take on d4, we would hit the rook. But of course he just takes, okay, but then we get the main tactic, which is to fork that. So it's sort of this, very simple tactic when it boils down to it. And we just take back. So I thought that was kind of cool. Let's look at the beginning position again. So queen looks through the knight. We say, okay, at first you're looking for forcing moves, right? The forcing move that we want is either a capture check. That's at the top of the list, I guess you'd say. I'll say, okay, capture check first. Then my students will say, hey, what about checkmate? So I guess I have to alter that. Checkmates first, then capture check, then check, like any old check. After capture check, capture with check. For instance, taking here, which would be silly in this position, but we have to look at it just because the crazy looking moves often work. So we want to do that capture check, exposing the king, simultaneously checking him, very forceful, forcing our opponent to do what we want to do. In other words, so they can't do what they need. For example, mutual checkmating situation. Well, you gotta force their hand, and then captures. So that's our capture. We just consider that when the rook takes back. Then we look at this sort of quiet move. It's a threat. So we get capture checkmate, capture check, check, capture. Then we have threat, threatening to capture, threatening to check. Then we have quiet moves, which will, that's the bottom of the pyramid, the bottom of the hierarchy that we would consider after everything else. So that's sort of one of the main things. I also wrote a tactic solving checklist that you may not have considered. I did a blog on that. So just like things that people don't always think about, like inversion, for example, like Buffett's sidekick Charlie Munger says, invert, always invert. Actually, he took that from a German mathematician. I forget who it was, but see, he should get the credit for that if he came up with it. But inversion, so if it doesn't work one way, simply flip it on its head. Typical reverse engineering, typical problem-solving technique. So I think reverse engineering often works. Also, like I call it removing the glitch removal. So if you see a glitch in one particular line of play, say, hey, I want to get rid of the glitch. Common sense, right? That'll solve a lot of tactics for you. So you're really boiling it down to the essence, but in order to do so, you got to remove those glitches. Sometimes you have to reverse engineer it. You see some forcing line, you start looking at it and you're like, oh, I see something there. Well, let's reverse engineer it. Let's pick something out of that and make it work. And then and then you might see some motif that might pop up, and you start to combine, you start to sort of meld those things together. So anyway, let's get into some more tactics. So for this one, you take with check, you take it, then you get this, and again, if he takes the knight, you take the rook, and it looks like, yeah, we're going to win the rook in the corner, or the knight has to obstruct. We pick up the knight, and then we got a rook and a knight for a knight. Okay, we pick up a rook in essence, and I think right now we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, no, it's important to note what we're at the beginning. or we just sacked a knight. So now he's up a knight. We give the knight back, but we pick up the rook. So that would be good for us. Yeah. So we do this. He takes, and then we get our fork, and then that's the simple tactic. And what are we up in the end? We have 3. They have 3, but we've got the exchange. We got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3. Okay, we're up the exchange and a pawn, effectively up 3 points like a piece. That's winning. All right, let's jump ahead. Let me make sure we're good on that stream just before I move on. Not this one. Oh, that's a Bob Marley song. Where are we? Okay, it looks like it's green. Sometimes I've had some issues. I updated OBS. I like that software. Okay, so this should be it. All right. So next one, let's do it. So that was a 2700 rating according to chess.com. I don't think it was that hard if you know the theme. Bishop takes, it was forcing once you saw it. So bishop takes c3. The hard ones are the quiet ones. Now we have to solve this fast if we want to gain stuff. But we're disincentivized from moving too quickly because you lose a lot of points. Let's see. Try to see what's going on here. Obviously, we have something, a focal point, like in Art of Attacking Chess by Vukovic. We have that focal point on g2. We'd love to get the queen in there. We have some mating ideas, knight h3, queen in there somehow. What can we do? Queen is loose on c4. So we want to know, that's the root of all tactics generally, is loose pieces, expose loose king, basically. So I feel like we can exploit that queen somehow. Can we chase the queen away? It's not even under threat because it's pinned. If we could chase the queen away, we'd love to get in like a queen d5. No, it wouldn't work. Somehow we want to get in there, but the queen's in our way. Knight h3 check is forcing. King goes up or king moves over. I don't think that's convincing. There's nothing there. No. There's some rook f2 stuff. Oh, there might be a fork on e3. Yeah. See, if we can make the king go to there to g2, and then if we can get a knight on e3, we can fork. But easier said than done. But that's something we want to keep in mind in this tactic. That's one of the key motifs here. Let's see. There's no breakthrough on g3. It's got to be on I feel like it's got to be on the light squares. We got the knight e2 check idea too. Like if we can go knight e2 check, maybe queen covers the diagonal, knight h3 and e2 are going to be mate. We really want that knight to go here when the time is right, but that queen's pestering us. We can always play b5, of course, chase her away if we don't like her there. Well, if she goes to e4, then she sort of covers everything. So I don't really like that. See, tactics teach you how to think defensively, which is very good. Defensive calculation is essential to be a strong chess player, to move up to the master, even at 1800 and above, I think. Anywhere, really. If you can it starts with not hanging your pieces, right? And then the more advanced layers of it, just of defensive calculation. But thinking, okay, b5, then queen goes here, covering everything. I feel like if the queen goes, could just hit the rook or go back if she needs to, she covers everything for the most part. But there's a lot of weakness around the e2 square, the light squares. There's just too much weakness. There must be something there. I'm sure if you're seeing this, I'm sure you already see it before me here. Like, what is going on here? How can we filter it with the queen? If we move in, we can threaten a check and win the queen. Like queen g4 even threatens knight h3 and picking up the queen. But then if you go queen g4, they go f3, you check, you pick up the queen. So that means the queen would have to move. The king can't really, he can go here, but then you get a check. Queen g4 is very interesting. Kind of a quiet move. So, because I'm not seeing any forcing moves that work immediately. Throwing away the knight check doesn't seem that good. Knight check, king g2, rook takes f2 check, rook takes. I'm not seeing, because there's just no checks, because the queen covers everything. So there's something wrong with that queen not being here on c4. It doesn't work for us. So we need to disrupt this. That should be our intuition, our inclination should be, we don't want the queen on c4. Either that, or we exploit the queen while she's on c4. Something like that. One way or the other. Queen g4. Queen g4 threatens knight h3, so what do? If king h1, you check. Okay, that's sort of a threatening, very threatening move. And now that's nice, because there's no way the queen gets on the diagonal. But of course, I'm not going to jump at it, because if I get it wrong, I lose like 12 points. So you really have to double, triple check your moves. That's very good about this algorithm that they have here, so you don't jump into things in tournaments. So queen g4, that's my top choice right now. If queen e4, you win the queen with a check, because the queen's still loose. Can't go there, can't go there. Where does the queen even go? Yeah, that's the problem. Queen g4 is just that silent killer, it seems like. And now of course, we need to think in our opponent's shoes before we settle on that. And of course, we'll look for other options. Ideally, I should solve this more quickly, but at least if I get it right, maybe you still get a couple points. If it's a hard one, especially, they'll give you more for those. So if queen g4, well, just tell me a response to knight h3 or even knight e2 check. Knight h3, just pick up the queen. And that means the queen needs to either move. You guard the queen. Okay, what do you do? How do you guard the queen? b3. Well, now I get knight e2 check in, takes, and then I pick up the bishop, and I'm up a knight. We're up a knight there. I don't know. Queen g4 is very tempting. What do you think? Anything else here? So again, b5, something like that. The queen just goes to e4. I'm just not seeing anything there. Well, the difference is that now if you go to queen g4, f3, now that actually guards the queen. So again, defensive calculation. We need to think in our opponent's shoes. Generally, that's how you solve tactics. So if you're good at defense, you're good at attack. The two go hand in hand. And I really stress defense because I think it's superficial to just focus so much on attack. No, it's not that, but it's not comprehensive. If you think in defense, more strongly in defense, you're going to be attacking better. You're going to anticipate your opponent's attacks better. All right, I'm beating it over the head now, but I think that is very important to students anywhere up to, no matter what your level is. I'm sure there's some master students who don't necessarily think in terms of defensive calculation. I mean, probably they do if they got there, but they might be thinking, some people might have gotten there just by attacking. And if you really want to reach higher levels, I think you have to think defensively as well to complement that. It's the opposite side of the coin. So queen g4. I don't know. I just don't see a good response. Again, king h1, queen f3 check, f3, knight e2 check. I just think that's like a silent killer. I'm liking it. What else is there? Do a scan. Scan for anything else. I don't know. Look at that. Just imagine the queen's on g4. That looks too good. There's no way to touch the knight since the rook's guarding it. Our own rook is pinned, but that's irrelevant at the moment. f3 is met by knight h3 check, pick up the queen. Not knight e2 check, because now the pawn is blocking the queen's path to e2. But f3, just check on h3, that's it. If b3 guarding the queen, there's just no other way to stay on the diagonal. The queen has no other way to cover f3, because this is a threat, sort of. It takes, and then you're exposed. You can always lift the rook up and come in. Okay, let's try it. Good, that was the correct move. It was a little iffy, because it was so quiet, but it just felt like a deadly move. Okay. Well, do we have like knight h3 check and queen f3 check and then the rook swing? Or no, we don't have a rook lift. So that rules that out because we know we can't mess with that queen anymore. She's good. She's like, I'm staying on your rook. I'm not going away. Okay, then is it queen f3? Is it queen f3? If they sack the knight, but I want that rook lift. Come on, give me the rook lift. How do we make that work? You have to be insistent. Oh, of course, knight e2 check, right? Knight e2 check, king up. You gotta be stubborn, right? You gotta be insistent. Insist on your ideas. Very important. That's how you get the initiative. It's a battle of ideas. Knight to e2 check, king to g2, knight, queen f3 check. What do we have? Oh, of course. And then we have the typical pattern. Again, pattern. So we don't really, if you know it, it's just like robotic almost. You can go knight e2 check, king there, check, king over, knight f4 check, and there's some mate on. Where's the mate? Queen goes to h5. So we have knight e2 check, king up. Queen f3 check. Now we've taken away g1, so it has to go here. Knight back to f4, but with the improved position of the queen. The king goes here, mate. So that's all forced. And now when he goes here, that's the key. So we come back again with a nice pin the other way. First we pin him this way, now we pin him this way, work every angle. Bam, mate. So let's, what do we gain, like a point? Yeah, because I took so long. So they said pass rate's 52.6%, and they give it a 25-30. So it's not. So they don't view it, the algorithm of the computer based on responses to it doesn't view it as that hard. So attacking castle king, attacking f7, f2, sort of mating 3-pin, mating motif, sort of. Okay. Well, also I'd say like the silent, but I don't know how to call that. I'd call it the SBD, the silent but deadly move, right? So let's go back. Of course, we want to review. So again, queen g4. It was process. A lot of it's okay. Another motif of a technique of tactic solving is, of course, process elimination. You've all taken multiple choice tests. Okay, A, B, C, D. I don't like A. I don't like B. Maybe C, D. Maybe. Okay, we'll go between those. Okay, actually D doesn't work. When you evaluate it, go back to C. Okay, double check, triple check, quadruple check. Make sure it's good. Defensive calculation, all that. Okay, make the move. do that scan also. Scan the board, make sure there's nothing else. Okay, so queen g4. It's just there's nothing else. This is pinned. There's nothing else to do. So we go queen g4. We have nasty threats now of knight h3 and knight h3 check. Yeah, knight e2 check. If the queen wants to take, fine. We'll win the queen for the knight. But after this, the key move was it was knight. Then it was forced. So once we set it up, we start with the silent move. Okay, then the rest is maybe a 1600 level tactic from here because it's all forced. It's pretty straightforward. You just do your check, and then you want to try, but it's good for calculation because if you can calculate this well, then you can calculate some other deeper strategic position well too. Force the king there. That's the key move, not a knight back, but under improved situation, and then you finish him off. Okay, let's go on. King to g8. Okay, well clearly we have a sort of mating possibility by, he doesn't really have much of a luft, but there's this. Oh, well I mean, you just see there's obvious problems in black's position. I mean, the knight has to guard the rook. The king has some issues because he only has one square to avoid a mate if you go down. Is there anything down there that we can do? I feel like, is it just like attack the knight? If you attack the knight, he's going to go here. Oh, that might be like some check we throw in. Yeah, if you attack the knight, again, defensive calculation, he attacks you, you take, he takes, he's happy. We got 4, they have 5, we're down a pawn. Great, okay. Now we're playing a rook endgame with a pawn down. That's not going to work. What can the bishop do? What can we do with this stuff here? Because obviously the idea would be to go here, and then even if they go g5, you just take it, win the rook. Problem is there's a loose bishop. Yeah, I don't know what to do about it. If we check immediately, king goes up. Does that change things? Ah. Oh, wait, no. There's a check. There would be a check, but the rook would cover it. How do we, yeah, we want to check on the diagonal to save the bishop, but it's not saving it there. Okay, but there's some stuff here. How do we make that work now? Again, it's always like you have a problem, you need to solve it. Little mystery here, huh? Where do we go with the bishop? If you go here, that just seems kind of lame. What are you doing on e4? Blocking the rook? No, it doesn't do anything. I want to check, but I can't do the check here effectively. Where do we go? Is there any like in between move after rook here? That bishop has nothing good to do here with his existence on b1. Rook check, king f7. I'm not the fastest tactic solver, but I think it's better to be, get it right than to do it fast. Check, king f7. And I'm not sure if my potential food poisoning may not be helping, but no excuses, no excuses. This is going to happen. We're going to solve. You have to insist on it. It's going to be solved. But how? We need to work that diagonal. But where do you go? We want to get to b3, but how? Bishop c2, he just takes it. Get out of the way, rook. What are you doing there? Somehow there's some looseness here, but what about, I don't know, I feel like there's something with it. This. Okay, again, let's look at this check. Check, lure the king to f7. Does that do anything? Ah, and then you can threaten to win. Oh, when he goes to f7, you come back. Now it's an improved situation. So that was sort of finding the glitch in the line, possibly. But now we're seeing something here, I think. If we go to e8, if you go here immediately, they attack. But when you go to e8, they come out. Then you come back. Even if they go rook b2, we've solved the glitch now. So we've solved the glitch of that. We've removed that barrier, that problem. By taking on here with check, they can't attack the rook. Okay, and then we escape. And that's a clean piece up. I mean, we might get some problems with the pawns getting taken, but we can move over, take some more pawns ourselves, and the bishop should win the day. So are we liking the check? Check, king up, rook back, hitting the knight. Again, g5 is met by takes again with check. And because of this stuff here with the bishop covering, it means the king is, it's not that he's going to get mated, but that his hand is forced. He must go to f7. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I don't see anything else. Okay, and then we got to go here. Is there anything else? I don't see it. There's no bishop sack on g6. No, I'm not liking that. Let's go here. Hit the knight direct. Now we take with check, and we won our piece. Thanks. And then we solve it. We get what, a point? Okay, we get another point. All right, I got to move faster, though. Let's see. Wait, what did they just take? A rook? So we got 3, 4, well, all our pieces are infiltrated, but our queen's under attack twice. What is going on? We have a pin here, a bunch of pieces in here. There's no immediate threat on our king, though. He doesn't even have a queen checks and knight covers. So the only problem is our queen's hanging and his king's in jeopardy. So, you know, even though you could look for forcing moves, but I always like to kind of lay the groundwork, understand the context a little bit, know if you're down a piece. If you're down a piece, you win a piece. Okay, you just got parity. So you achieved equilibrium, which is not, unless that's the goal. If that's your best move, okay, fine. But usually, if you're playing for a win, yeah, it depends. But I'd rather take a win if it's there. Okay, so is there anything over here? Any knight checks? There's some queen check. There's lots of checks. There's a knight check here. There's a knight check here. So I think this is the kind of situation where I'm just going to look at the most forcing moves of capture checks and checks. So the capture check, which is this, we'll look at that first. Follow the rule. If he takes, what do we have in there? Let's say the pawn just takes. If you check, there's really no difference. I mean, other than getting rid of this pawn, but the king will still take anyway. What do we achieve there? Check, king takes. Is there anything with this? No, the bishop's pinned. I mean, unless we can decoy the queen, we can somehow maybe hit that diagonal. That could be nice. That queen's annoying. I don't see any way to decoy her at the moment, unless we like took the rook, but I don't think we're ready for that. That could be interesting if we can get a mate with like two knights and the bishop, like in the Immortal game by Anderson. I think it was two bishops and a knight or two knights and a bishop. I think it was two knights and a bishop on c7 or something. Okay, so yeah, it should stick with you, or at least the basic theme sticks with you. But I don't think I have a photographic memory like that. Some people just, I see it right away. Okay, so we're looking at knight takes g6, pawn takes, if queen check, king out. I'm not seeing anything there. Knight takes here, that's very possible. Because when knight takes here, the king is, this is covered, that's covered. So we have flight squares covered. Can't go there because the pawn's in the way. That's covered, that's covered. So he has to go to e8. That's very interesting. I'm liking the look of that. So knight takes check, king over. Then we could even check here if we wanted to. The queen can't give up. There's no follow-up with just the rook and the bishop. Because again, you always got to consider, well, does my opponent have any Hail Marys, any desperados or whatever? Again, defensive calculations. Knight takes check, king moves, knight f6 check, queen takes, Okay, that's fine with me. What do we have though? We have rook for rook, bishop for bishop, queen for queen, this rook for rook. I mean, knight for knight, this for this. So we got three minor pieces for three minor pieces, queen for queen, rook for rook. Yes, everything's equal. We're down some pawns, 4, 4, 6. But obviously our pieces we're really underdeveloped over here. I mean, these pieces are just helping to hold on to the queen side around the king, whereas these two and the queen are very, very dangerous. And as we saw from the beginning, I mean, we've infiltrated with three pieces, so there must be something there. So yeah, it seems like this is just a straightforward check. And I'm sure if you don't solve this fast, you probably don't get anything, because it's probably not that hard. After check, king moves. Forcing lines are less difficult. You just have to, as long as you can visualize where it goes, that's half the battle. Now the knight check, he just comes back. So check here, check back. Knight takes check, pawn takes. You can't get in there because the rook is covering. That's a bit annoying. Knight takes check, king moves. No double checks, no nothing like that. Do we have like a mate with the two knights? Ah, I think so. Knight take, no, we don't. Because the queen could take. That's so annoying, that queen. Oh, is that where we decoy the queen? Okay, hold on. Check, king here. Check. Covering c7. That reminds me of the Immortal game in that sense. Check, king here, check. He takes the queen with something. Oh, the bishop just takes, stopping. Yeah, there's nothing there. I mean, there's almost something there. I'm not giving up on that. There's something very close to that, but not if you let him take with the bishop. Let's see. Take the knight. No, bishop's covering. But even if you could, okay, that could be interesting. But no, then we'll just take. Then he'll just take here. But I feel like knight takes h7 is just the straightforward move. We have to see if that works. King to e8. Now, which check? Is there some kind of, well, we can start with this check, but then he's just coming back. There's nothing there. I don't think so. So knight takes check. Just imagine the knight's going here, forcing king e8. Now what? Hmm. It's just that it's annoying because they're covering all these squares. So somehow you need to make them, you need to decoy somehow. You need to deflect a piece somehow from that. Check king here. Where can the knight go? Oh, if you go to f5, you block the queen. That's interesting. Let's look at that. Check. There's a rook takes and a bishop takes. Now, if the rook takes, we check here. King goes back. Oh, wait, hold on. So it was knight takes check, king there. We gotta sort of drive him over. So knight takes check, king here. Knight f5 check, rook takes. Knight d6 check, king over. But see, now we're not covering c7. I feel like we need a knight on like d5 to cover c7. Somehow we need to block that. Or like make the, or like go here and make them take it and clog up c7 or something. Because c7 would be an escape. This is tricky. Knight takes check. King moves. Let me just think about it for a minute. Think about yourself here. There can also be a knight c6 discovery. Covering that. Check, check. That would mean that piece would have to take, let's say rook takes again. There's no follow-up though, because the queen covers. Oh, is that where there's a bishop a3 or something? Maybe that's where the bishop a3 check comes in. If there's a rook blocking, we can hit that diagonal. Wow, this one's really complex. Very complex mating pattern. We gotta just examine the possibility, all the options. Oh, so if we pull him back to f8, then if we can make the queen move, that's when the knight takes g6 check allows bishop a3 check. And as long as the queen's on e5 still, they can't block. Once the bishop takes, that obviously doesn't work. But do we sack the queen at that point? Let's see. Check. King moves. Where are we going? If we go here, no, if king goes back, we can take with check. Ah, but when we take with check, the pawn takes, which gives an exit on f7. This doesn't quite work there. I want to make bishop a3 check work though. Can't give up. Never give. I never give up on a tactic. Always try and solve it until you, yeah, just solve it until you find the best move. Mental toughness. You can never give up. Check. I feel like that's got to be the start, but we have to just find the combo that works. And it's probably like, maybe it's something super easy, and anyone who's watching this is like, oh, okay, how do you not see this? It's got to be because I know there's something here. Check here. What combination do we have with our knights? Okay, yeah, if you sack it right away, check here. If you sack this right away, no, that can't work, can it? No, because then any checks they'll take. You got to move the knight first somewhere. Check here. Let me just look. I'm gonna try some, maybe see if I'm missing any other options. Queen a8 check, king takes. There's nothing there. Not seeing anything. What about an immediate knight move? Knight f5, no. Hmm. Any stacks on h7, h2, takes. Hmm. I'm still sticking with this line. So knight takes check. I feel like there's something there. We gotta chase that down here. Hmm. Gotta be right. I know if I'm not solving this stuff and I'm not ready for a tournament, so I won't go until I'm not gonna stop training until I feel confident about solving these types of puzzles. Um, it's kind of like it's like confidence, I guess you could say. It's confirmation that I think when you're solving the tough tactics, that you are where you need to be to see anything in a tournament. Um, because yeah, you don't want to miss a tactical option. Now, I don't believe I don't believe chess is 99% tactics. I believe it's a marriage of positional and tactics. But but you have to know your tactics though. That is fundamental. You can't miss your tactics. Or not, maybe 1% of the time, but ideally not. Okay, so check, it happens. But you want to try to do everything you can to not see it, to not miss it. So check, king e8. What combinations do we have with that knight? Some tricky combination. Oh, we also have options of even going to g5 in some lines. If we can decoy the queen. So if the king ends up there, that's another way of hitting the king. So check, king here. Hmm. Well, if there are any lines where the rook takes and then the queen takes on f6, and you take back with a check, for instance, then you take on e5, well, you'd win the exchange. So there might be something there. But I think that if you do like knight check here, if you go knight d5 check, I think he just has bishop takes, and that covers the dark squares. What about sacking? Okay, you check first, and then see. I've been looking at sacking the queen here. I was going down the wrong line probably. So check here, and then queen h8 check, and then you could pull the king out. There's something there. Check, king e8, check. King has to take. Now we check from behind. I missed that idea, of course. Check. Now we're pulling him to here. Now it's just pure calculation. So we're here, the queen's there, king is here. You can go back to g5 with the knight. What else can we do? I think we're alone with just the knight and the queen here. And again, unless we decoy the queen and get bishop a3 in somehow, or bishop g5. So again, now it's okay, we're gonna look down this line now. So check, king here. Check, takes. Check, king e6. Knight g5 check. Let's look at that. King f6. I don't like. At least it's covered by the bishop. That's nice. So king f6. But now what? Because you have to watch out that he doesn't get back into g7. Like if you go, where do you even go? Queen here, for instance. He can even go rook e7 or king back. So again, defensive calculation. So check, probably not knight g5. Check, takes, check, up. Oh, do we have? Oh no, wait. Yeah, I think I'm missing. I'm like seeing ghosts. Okay, check, check. Um, king here. Check, takes. Hmm. Now I'm sure there's something here. Check. Let's check. The nice thing about the knight here is that he stops the king from f6 for now. So we can maybe pull him to f5 or something. So after check, takes, check. Sorry, check here, check, takes, check, king up, queen check here. Now he can go to here, he can go here, or he can go here. What if he goes here? Do we have anything if he gets to f5? Or we can take this with check. Then he goes to here, let's say. Probably only move. Is there anything there? Oh, then we take the queen. That's nice. Okay, so we have that line works. Check, takes, check here, check, knight check, king takes, queen check, king up, queen check again, king here, we take. Okay, so, and the knight covers f6. So check here after queen check, king up, only move. We also have a d5. I don't think yet. Okay, I like the pawn here. Okay, we can always consider that if we need to. But after check, king up, anything else? Again, we have knight back, but I don't like knight g5. Okay, we go queen e8. So now he has king d6 or king here. Now, if king here, c4 check maybe? c4 king takes. Then what? It's looking bad. I mean, some people might just go for it and like just make the king hunt work. Although I would like to really just get this. I want to see the whole thing. If I don't see anything else, I'll just go for it. But I still want to calculate the whole thing. So check. It's good practice. Take here. I'll feel good, even though it's taking me a while. I'll feel good if I can just, at least solve the whole thing. Check here, check, takes, check here. Now we're considering queen e8, king d5. Now no taking here anymore because the queen's covering. The knight's still here. Oh, the knight's there. Can we do anything with that? That couldn't work, could it? Oh, wow. Now we have the decoy, the takes, knight check. No, he goes to e6. There's almost some mate there, but no, he can go to e6. What about the d5 check? Check after takes, check, takes, check, up. If we go, no, instead of check, if we go here first, c5 check, and we're still on f8. So c5 check, king takes, sorry, g5 check, king takes d5. Anything there? I don't think so. I just don't see anything other than this. So I think, okay, I think there's so many lines you can go. I think I'm going to go for it because I don't want to take too long on it, but this seems to be the right path. Let's try. Okay. Now, I was looking for a while at some sort of, sack and like two knights mating or something, two knights and the bishop somehow, but I just don't think it works. It's just not, it would be really cool, but it's got to be this check because I know it pulls them out after check here. And then we can pull them out more again. The good thing is that when you check, you can't go to f5 because you just win the queen with take skewer. So when you check, takes, check here, I feel like we're close there. Oh, do we still have knight g5 now? Yeah, I think so. Oh, king f6, you just take and you win. Yeah, you still have knight g5 now when he's on e6. That's the key. So he goes here, you get knight g5. So now the knight's working for us. Okay, knight g5 check. And then he goes, and the queen is still on f8, right? Check, takes, check. No, check, takes, check. Here, knight g5. Yeah, queen's on f8, knight g5 check. Okay, now again, he can't come here because he gets skewered. So he comes, but now the knight's working for us again. We got all our teammates in action. Okay, check, king here. There's got to be something there. How can that help us there? If we check again, king takes. Are there any other checks? It's got to be this. I just don't see anything else here. The knight check just didn't cut it. He's got too much defense. This is the only way to circumvent everything. Check, takes, check. Here only move. Okay, we try for our knight g5 check. King, let's look at king d6. See if there's anything there. Well, now we can go knight takes check. That looks promising. If he comes there, we could check from behind. And then, or take this. Yeah, there's too much there. I think it's got to work. And then it's got to be queen f8 check. Sometimes you just got to trust your intuition. But you do want to try to, have as much precision as possible. But we all have our limitations. Maybe I could take 2 hours and try to find every single line, but no, it shouldn't take that long, honestly. But okay, I'm going to go with this. I don't see any other flaws since we just can't use our. Whenever you see that moving, it's a good sign. If it's not moving, that means you got the red. But even then, if you get most of them right, it probably won't really deduct too much. But we want to get this right. Insist on that. Now, it was either queen e8. Now, this is an important fork in the road. Queen e8 or knight g5. So again, it shows you that a lot of it's about your attitude and your mindset in a tactic as well as in a game. You decide things. So that's why I like to write down simple notes before each game, like put everything into every game, make the best move every move. It's a mindset. You're looking for the best move. You're not going to play sloppy, but you need to remind yourself not to be sloppy sometimes. Because you're going to, then you calibrate yourself to insist on the best. I mean, then it becomes habit. You have to create those habits through. I like to write things down. It's like journaling. I wrote some blogs on that too. I like that stuff. It's worked for me for finding consistency. Again, even if it takes me, well, that's my drawback. I do like to take my time. I like to immerse myself in it. In long games, you usually get away with it, but sometimes when you get down to the wire, you get in trouble. Then you have to go into blitz mode sometimes. But 30-second increments, nice. Okay, so we got knight g5 check. King d5. So what do we do? Oh, we can't even go to d6, right? So knight g5 check. So you're forcing his hand to d5. That's the only line. Oh, and then we have queen c5. Mate. That, of course. I missed that. But the key is, though, that it's important to see that when the knight goes here, you can't go anywhere in the f file because queen takes. Even here, your knight guards the queen now. So you can't go there because you lose. Just skewer the. Oh, wait, no, it's a mate. If he goes here, yeah, that would be a mate. If he goes here, check. Maybe he doesn't get mated there, but he loses the queen, and then we mate him. So the key is, yeah, the queen covers d6. I was thinking that, yeah, he doesn't have that as an option, only after queen e8. But queen e8 is too slow. So here, check. Here, we're working the dark squares now. That's a mate, given that it's covered. Perfect. I think so. Oh, he's going this way. Okay, well, let's just see. Now it's gonna. Maybe this is wrong, so I'm not gonna jump at that because there may be a mate here. Let's insist on that. Try to find the mate. Well, it's about to be made anyway. I think just take and take. He's in a mating net, and he's down a queen. If you check here, he just blocks. Obstruction doesn't work. Obstruction of, what would the chess term be? Lateral obstruction, I guess. Okay, check here. I like the queen. That looks good to me. Cool. Nothing. Always double check though. Never be hasty. Hastiness will get you in big trouble. Sit on your hands. It should be. I'm not sitting on my hands. Hold on. Let's see. Where was the queen? Got to make sure. She's coming from here. I don't see anything else. Okay, I'll take the queen. That should be it. Cool. Do we get a point again? All right, we got one more. 25.50. All right, that's something. And it's 11 o'clock. All right, that's something. Okay, maybe. Yeah, I'd like to get to 2600. So let's see. Is everything good with this? Yeah, that probably took me like, what, 24 minutes? Under 25 minutes. But hey, I got the new milestone. Okay, 25. I think I've been there once. I forget what the peak is, but I feel pretty good about it. I didn't quite meet the target time of 1 minute. That's hard. I think that was pretty hard. They give it a 25. Again, I mean, the algorithm's not perfect, but I think that was pretty hard. Just no, I think it was harder for me because I went down a weird path. Oh yeah, why don't we review it really quick? So it was night. See, I was going down the weird paths of like trying to hang my queen, but yeah, of course, this is a simple move, and then it's all force. So yeah, if you look at the most forcing moves, actually this one, and again, in that sense, sometimes the most forcing lines win. And then again, I missed that idea at first of the skewer. The skewer idea is what makes it work because then it really limits his options. And again, if you had gone to d5, then queen c5 would have been a mate because this and this are covered now. So we just take and then we pick up the queen and we say good game with an extra queen. Well, a queen. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Okay, a queen for knight, but he is getting mated soon. I think check is coming. This is covered. This is hanging. Yeah, that's over. All right, let's go again. Rook takes f3. Hopefully this one will be more direct. Okay, well we see a check right here. Okay, now this reminds me of a Bobby Fischer one, where he like gets he gets, and again it's from the art. I mean not the art. It's from chess tactics for the tournament player. But you get check, the pawn coming in, then like some rook mate. But there's the rook here, which is unfortunate. But do we still? You know what? I feel like we just leave it there because we have time. I feel like we have time here because check takes not with the we take not with the bishop with the pawn, luring him. He's in a complete mating net. He's not going to escape that. Check takes king up. Get a tempo on that with a check. We take the rook, get rid of him. No mating threats. Okay, you want to throw in a check? We'll figure out that. But the key is that he's in this terrible mating net. And after he comes here, or possibly bishop takes, but I just think, no, he goes back. It's no mating net. So the key is the queen check, takes, mating net, king up. Where's that mate? King, rook. Oh no, we have to take first. So that now we're going a little slow because we're saying, okay, I'm going to take the rook, and then I'm going to do a rook lift, which is deadly, and you can't really get out of it. But let's say you take it. Let's say he comes up, and he's got the knight check as well. Let's say he comes up. I think I've seen this, something like this. Does the bishop reroute? Let's say we do but the knight's in the way. Okay, let's say we do a rook check here. What's the follow-up? He's so close though. Is there anything else? I just don't see anything else. I feel like it's got to be a check here. Bishop check? Oh, bishop check. What was that? Oh, yeah, it's an easy one. What am I thinking? Bishop check. If king goes here, we hit him on the diagonal. Bishop check. Well, you can lose the queen if he wants, or king up, mate. Okay, of course. So I took way too long on that. Let's double check though. Yeah, that diagonal here is deadly. So if he walks back here, he's getting mated in there. That's a typical theme. That deadly diagonal. Check. Yeah, that's it. I hope that's it. Yeah. But I think the hard part was just that it's like you have to work the geometry of the board and see that how deadly that diagonal is. And thanks for the queen and mate. Okay, we got what? 1 point again? Come on, man. Give me a couple points. Okay, well, hey, that's not bad. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we got 6 in a row. So everything so far today has been okay. That makes me feel pretty good about the tournament, given that I got 6 in a row. That was a lower rating. Yeah, definitely. That was a 2300. That because that was just just a pure mating pattern. But again, I think it's a mix of I remember I took some psychology. It was like psychology of environmental stewardship back in college, and it was like talking about I think it was efficacy and confidence. So you can't just be confident without having efficacy, without being able to do something. And if you just are able to do something without the confidence, that doesn't work either. So you need to find that point, like sort of equilibrium, where you have confidence and efficacy. So I'm working on the efficacy, giving myself the confidence, and then feeling ready to enter the tournament. Now, of course, I'll also need to feel confidence in my openings. So I need to improve my efficacy there as well. At least in terms of refreshing my memory. But I generally stick with a repertoire, but I've been mixing it up in the last year. So I need to review some of the new lines. But ultimately, when it comes down to it, I think if you're playing good chess, as long as you understand how to create the plans out of your repertoire, you should be okay. But some sharp lines don't hurt. They help you get advantages sometimes. Okay, so queen check. No, it wasn't queen check. I wanted to make that work. I think, see, that's sort of like that was sort of what's the word? It's almost like the decoy line or like the teaser. It's like you have, okay, is it B or is it D? Well, D might be the teaser. So this was the teaser because it looked like, oh, it's that Bobby Fischer game where you get to take and the rook comes up. But that's too slow. So you're like, wait, doesn't this, at first I'm like, oh, it just goes back to B8 and you can't go back again. Well, you have the diagonal. But the key is, and then if he goes here, you have your queen B5 as mate. If he goes there, so it's really just a matter of kind of taking away all the squares, just a simple mating net. But it's important to see that diagonal is decisive. But because we have opposite colored bishops, that's really the strategic idea. The positional idea behind it is the presence of those opposite colored bishops. All right, let's do another one. Let's see, is this still good? Which one was that? Was reggae. That should be it. Let's see. Looks like we have one watching. Oh, this is Sahar. Hi, Sahar. Can you play it? Voice is low. Oh, sorry. I got a new version of OBS, so maybe I didn't need to reset it. Reno. Oh, hey. Wait, Reno Cali. I think that is I mean, see, I have to put the I know who you are though. I have to put the what do you call it? I have to put it together. Your alias, your online alias with who it is. But I remember we used to play a lot of Chess 960. When I first got into Chess 960 on chess.com, that was the turn-based games. Then I was like, hey, Lichess has live games. Then chess.com is like, hey, I'm going to do that too. But hey guys, how's it going? But the voice is still very low. Oh, sorry about that. So can you hear it? Can you still hear it? Or maybe I was just like, well, now it's probably louder, right? Because I was kind of like maybe talking subconsciously. I mean, it was just stream of consciousness as I was playing. So that way I could try to explain to you all the things I was thinking. But let me know if it's better now. Is it any better now that I'm speaking? Oh, now that I'm speaking louder? Or was it? Yeah, I think I need to recalibrate my settings on OBS since I got the new version. It probably wiped everything out because I had it on some super high quality stuff that made it impossible to. It was good for streaming, but it made it impossible to do the videos because I had like 2 gigs for one video. So yeah, let me know what you think if you saw something that I missed. Okay, let's do a few more. So let's see. And then probably I'll try and go till maybe 11:30. I'm trying to go to 2600. That's what I'm trying to do. You got to stick to your goals, right? Let's see. Well, we have an so this is the mutual mating net scenario. So it's something where the theme here is you got to catch them. Either you catch them first or you kill their attack and then you catch them. Like you said you trade queens or something. It's either trade queens, kill his attack, or blast through. But how? Or yeah, I feel like, well, look at this. It's interesting because it might be almost a defense one where, okay, look, this is a check and a mate. So it's a clear dilemma. How do you stop? Okay, we're winning. So it's a defense one, I think. We have a mate. I mean, we have a win. We're going to have a mate easily, but there's just nothing here. You want to check him? Okay, now you probably messed something up if you go for the check. The key is that we need, oh, no, it doesn't work. If we can get that, somehow open this up and get a check. But the key is we just are saying, hey, I'm trying to talk more loudly now, so hopefully that works. But we're saying, hey, you're not going to get queen h2 to f2. If we can cover one of those squares, but how? If queen e5 covers h2, let me know. Did you see? Is it louder now? Where is the? Here it is. Is it louder now? Oh, good. Thanks, Sahar. Right? Thanks, Sahar. Yeah, I'm trying to provide some explanation because I like to give sort of I like stream of consciousness. So, whether I'm writing or speaking, I figure, hey, just say what's on your mind, not like someone else, but in a you know what I mean, in a healthy way. Say what's on your mind in a healthy way. But especially, to explain what's going on. We're trying to get to the truth of the matter. So let's see. After king to g8. But yeah, you got to do stream of consciousness with volume. That's the key. Got to find that right calibration, right? So after king g8, how do we stop queen h2? Any ideas there? Annoying pawn. If we see, I think even if this pawn were moved, if we could just get here, or if we could like check him somehow and then get it to, because you can't get here. If you could just cover this, I think he wouldn't have a win. You take away check as well. You take away this check. Yeah, that's all we need to do. That's our only goal in life right now is just to cover this diagonal. I think so. Well, that's my first inclination. But I'm just trying to see because look, you can't move the king. You have no other move that covers it, and all you have is checks. I don't think hanging the queen works. He just takes. Oh, then we get three pieces for the queen. That might be the solution, possibly. Or you just, what if you just hang the queen? We have to look at it. It looks crazy, but we have to look at it. Hang the queen, stop the mate. He takes it. See, it's sort of a, you have to look for the counterintuitive ideas, but the point is it's carrying out your goal of stopping his mate. And then we get the pawn push. So you don't push X, he takes. Okay, so check. Here, he takes, you take. He takes with check, though. That's obnoxious. But yeah, then he picks up the knight. Okay, it doesn't quite work, but I feel like we're onto something a little bit there. How about queen hang here? No, he's still got us in the net. King up, check, over, mate. But we can't push. If we, okay, let's look at checks. Check, up. Oh, you can go here with check. Oh, what if you can, when he takes it, what if you can take him with a check? That would be interesting. Okay, wait, hold on, hold on. Let's do a check. I want him to go to f7, that's the thing. We can only force him to g7, I think. Check here. What do we have? Oh, if we can just get the, we just zigzag over and then we play d7, right? Oh, because we could force c7 check and then we play d7, threatening the queen, plus we cover that. Ah, that's the key, right? Check and then here. Okay. Check, again, double check and check. Check here. Always check, it might be made. Always check, you might have a defense on the on the diagonal leading to h2. Check, king f7, check. It doesn't matter. He goes up, he goes whatever. d7, that's the key. But see, we need to understand what our opponent has. They have this, they have this. Now we've taken away their best options. Take away their asset. Say, no, you're not going to have that asset anymore. I'm taking that away from you. And then we play d7, I think. Yeah, nothing else to do. Cool. Okay, they still have tricks up there in up their sleeve. They want to go here. Ah, well, now we have a check here. Again, defense. Check to return. Check, return with the queen, cover. Not get mated, though. No thanks. Now, I'm not going to get mated, but he's got this check. But at least if we check, the benefit of the check is that, because we don't need a queen. We can win just with the pieces alone. That's a win. But we just need to not get mated. That's our objective in life right now. Now, if we go here, we get mated. If we go here, we get taken. So only thing is a check, right? Let's start. I just don't see anything else because he's threatening this way. That just doesn't look healthy. Check here, mate. Okay, we got to go here with the check. Is that maybe it'll give us the win there? Yeah. Did we get? Oh, come on, just a point again. That's annoying. That is annoying because I feel like that one was a little bit more difficult, but it's probably a basic theme. I'm supposed to solve that in 35 seconds at 2300. Yeah, it's giving me easier ones. I guess it's like, hey man, you're having some difficulty solving this 2500 level one, so we're just going to give you 2300 ones. You're still taking a long time, and I'm only going to give you a point. Okay, the algorithm is not being nice to me right now. But hey, again, it's really more about solving it, but I do want to get to, I mean, I'd like to have that metric in mind. So again, the key was, though, understand this diagonal, and then so it's basically check to control a line through clearance and defense. But we know we can, so again, we just couldn't get the queen to go. We can almost give up the queen in those lines, but it didn't quite work. But even then, it's like it would be three pieces against the queen, but if we can do that, plus if we can queen, okay, then we're talking. But we just check with the tempo, we're gaining the diagonal. And then they throw a little wrench in the works with this thing, but then we just threw on a check. And I think it's just going to be, what would it be? Well, I think it's just that if he ever checks, there's nothing because you just block. And then his attack kind of, well, you have to watch out for perpetuals. But what would it be if he goes here? We could probably get away, if you get a queen, I don't know, it's winning. But you just have to just watch out for perpetual check. Okay, so b6. Okay, I'm seeing some looseness. Thanks for undefending your knight. So the knight's loose. It's hanging. And well, if you take here, he takes back. Okay, it's still kind of loose. Now I like these positions because I play the dragon and the English a lot. I used to play the English all the time. So this is basically, it's important to know these structures. This is an English dragon reversed basically, like an open English something. I don't know, but it's a reversed Sicilian with white. So okay, we want to exploit this. Obviously, we want to exploit this. You always like those sacks on, here getting the pawn. But I think we're going to do something with this. Now, I feel like, oh, is it just as simple as takes? See, now they're giving me easy stuff. It's like, man, you're taking too long. So it's just takes, e4, chase it away, and then I take this. And we're right again, we're equal material. Because if we were down a piece, we would say, well, hey, that's not enough. We need a mate. We're not going to get a mate here. We could just feel that. There's not enough presence on the king side. But when you take it, that happens a lot. You see, that stuff happens a lot in the Sicilian. Is there anything else? No, there's nothing else. Maybe winning a pawn or something, but this is the most decisive for sure. And then e4. And we remove the defender. Okay, he gets himself a pawn, but we can't really trap the bishop, but we just pick up the knight, and I think we're safe. We're not getting our rook trapped. So, okay, give me some points. Come on. 3 points. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. All right. So pass rates, just under 50% pass rate. All right, what are we at now? If we can get, I'd be happy if I get a streak of 10. What are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I'm gonna jinx it now. Okay, we're at +8. All right. Okay, he's forking our rook and our bishop. It's like this is the kind of thing where you know what's at stake. You have to understand what's at stake, right? There's 2 things under attack. Can't really take though because he's gonna be a little uncomfortable because the rook's loose. The queen's kind of loose too. Everything's loose. Everything everywhere is loose in both positions. But we're tight here, but we're loose here. This is holding this, but everything is kind of loose. This is not defended. This is not. Well, that's only defended by queen. It's a very just. Oh, I think I've seen this one. I feel like they repeat some of them. I feel like I've seen this or something very similar to this. I think it's just a simple defense, and then we have something over here on the king. What do we have though? I think we just need to not get in big trouble here. But okay, what do we do? I mean, I think do we have a counterattack? We can't sack the queen. No, I don't think sack. What do we have right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're up the exchange, but I don't think sacking the queen is going to work for us here. I mean, you can sack the queen, then you can go bishop b7, take the rook. What are we at then? That would be kind of interesting. Then we have like a bishop for a bishop. No, that's not enough. That can't be enough. We would have, no, that would only be like a rook for a queen, I think. So no, we can't sack the queen, I don't think. We might come back to that. That's interesting, but you gotta look for your crazy ideas too. Can we win the queen? I feel like there might be some queen traps over here. If only we can just get our bishop over there. If we can go bishop here and go here, but there's no time. Oh. Yeah, what about just coming in here? It's like a counterattack thing where we just go here. And then is there really a threat though? Or is that just a ghost? Are we making a ghost threat ourselves? Here, well, we stopped it. Okay, if the knight takes, for instance, there are no good checks, I don't think. Check, block. No, he takes this. He has a check, but then we just move over, I guess. But he could even take this one. Wait, we're up the exchange, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4. Yeah, I mean, we have extra material. So this is the kind of thing where a defense could be a plausible victory for us, just defending. The defense could be the answer. Queen d7 is interesting, right? But let's say he lets us take here. Even there, it doesn't do anything. No, that's a ghost. Oh, no, it's not. Because takes here, check. We're getting, that does look dangerous. King goes here. We can pull him out. King would go here. I don't know. It's not the greatest, but there's something there. There's a lot of options here. Are we spoiled for choice? What can we do? Oh, we can't even go rook h6 because the bishop, at least the bishop's guarding there. That bishop's the only happy piece sort of. Well, the queen's kind of happy, but she might get trapped. But this guy's a little loose. This one's definitely loose. The bishop's solid. He's defended, and he's aiming in here. So the bishop's pretty happy. Oh, and he's threatening that maybe. King here. I don't know. Is there really any threat though? Is there really that big of a threat? Oh, if we just move the bishop away, if he takes, we just take, right? But we need to move it away. We can't. Oh yeah, if you go this way, he'd get mated. Wait, so what about just bishop g7 then? That might be our defensive move. Oh, and we stop the rook coming in. Bishop g7. Oh, and it stops. I mean, we stop the bishop coming in. Not only with the bishop, but with the rook. So we say, okay, fine. You want to take d6? I take f3. Then now we're talking. Now I might get a mate, and we're up a queen exchange and a pawn, right? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I think that's got to be it. Bishop g7 has got to be our defensive move. There's a rook sack. No, if rook sack, queen takes, there's nothing there. There's knight takes, queen takes, there's nothing there. Scan, make sure there's nothing. Okay, I'm liking bishop g7. Cool. And then it's got to be queen takes, right? It's just a sort of simplification tactic. Well, not even a tactic, but a fearlessness. You say, "Hey, go ahead, take me." It's sort of it's just it's a fearless tactic, saying like, "I don't care" tactic. Um, cool. We got 50% because we're again, I'm sure. See, we have to solve these things fast. Okay, is that 9? All right. If I get one more, I guess maybe I'll call it for now. So that was defense, X-ray attack, sort of through that, and sort of I don't care. Come take me, because I'm simple. I think they should add. Can we suggest a tag? I think it would be simplification as well. Definitely. Is that not a tag? Can I? Okay. Oh, that's not spelled right. There we go. Simplification. There we go. Simplification. Okay, so then someone has to verify that or something. But yeah, I think it is a simplification one for sure. Because now that we've got rid of the rook, with the knight moved away, it's also sort of a sort of deflection, whatever. Okay, that should do it. All right, this time can't mess this one up. The pressure is on. Well, this has got to be something precise because you have two rooks. We're down a rook for a queen. Now, is it a defense one or is it a win one? I feel like we can get the queen. Can we mate the king? Not, I don't know. I think we can almost, can we easily get the queen? Wait, check. The straightforward line is check, starts coming toward us. Check, king comes toward us again. Can't check here, you get taken. Check. What else is there? I'd rather block him first, but you go there, you just get taken. If you check him this way, he blocks. This one requires a lot of precision because there's so many options. We're gonna have to lure him just the right way, maybe a quiet move even. Let's see. Okay, rook check. What if the king let's just say he goes here. Now he's got to come this way, but let's just say he goes here. Check. Let's say he comes this way. Check. He goes behind. I don't know. That's not even that obvious. I think it's probably a defense one. I think we're just trying not to lose. Hmm. Can we set up like a stalemate? There might be a stalemate. I feel like it's a stalemate because you see how it's restricted. If we can hang a rook here or here, we can make the queen take. If we can check here, how do we sack our rooks? Oh, we sack our rook here. So we check because again, that same book. That book's good. I really recommend it. Chess Tactics for the Tournament Player. Where there's a draw section. It mentions the exact same thing. Where there's a rook here, and then there's a queen. There's a bishop like covering here, and the queen covers here or something. Same idea. Rook covers here. Same functions. So same function of each piece. So now rook would come here. Now we would throw away this rook any way we can, and then we keep his rook here though, and then we need to lure the queen if we can skewer somehow. So now we need, like a pin, and then make the queen take. Queen covers, that's a draw. Anywhere the queen goes on this line, it's a draw if we throw away our pieces. So if rook check, I don't want the rook coming up. I don't like that. I like this one. I still like the check. That's the most direct. King goes up, let's say. We need to lure him the right way. Let's say we check him again. He comes up again. Oh, the king might do it now. Check here. King takes. Check here. Takes. We're gonna get mated. What do we do? We need to make him cover the square. We need to lure him upwards. Check. If it comes this way, then we have the check. Takes here. That's what I want. I want him to go. If he goes to g6, it's over with. Rook h6, king takes. Rook d6 takes. Okay, check. But here, how do we win this? Or how do we draw this? Check, king g4. What's the right check? Oh, can we check with this one now? So king g4, check here. We could kind of get him we get him stuck in a vice and like between the walls, between our laser. I like to think of the rook. I like to talk about him like laser beam. I have my own my own little analogies I like to use. I don't know, I'm sure that's been used by a lot of people, but I like the laser beam analogy. It's called ladder checkmate, but I think of it like laser beams, and he gets burned if he walks into it. He gets zapped. So you go with the first check, because I teach all ages, but especially teaching kids, you got to come up with fun analogies to try to keep them engaged. So check, king here, check. That looks somewhat promising because we got him stuck in a vice now. So if king up, check again. Something's got to give. He's got to come toward us. Okay, hold on. So it's check. Now again, this one loses. Well, what if he goes here, by the way? Check here. Can we just keep checking with one rook? What if we just keep checking with one rook? Now we need to somehow get the. I feel like you either have to, or you can make the king take, but if you can't check here because the queen will check you. But you got to make something go here. Oh, if you could force the king to take here, you can either force the king to take here, or force the queen to walk onto this diagonal, or go here. So there's so many ways to get the stalemate. If we can throw away the rooks, but if check, but we have to start the right way. And then the question is, after check, once he moves, do you check with the same rook or do you check with the second rook? It's very tricky because there's so many options. Check, maybe it'll click. Let's say he comes forward though. That's the most forcing, I think, because he's trying to stop the checks. Now we either have this check or we have check again. If he goes here, we keep checking. That's somewhat. It seems good. Check here, check. He's got to step over here now. So he goes here. We can check here. I think it's got to be rook h2. Well, if we can rule it out, we can start with the first move. If we can rule out rook d5 check. Well, we can't come up. No, I think we can because he goes rook g5. We take. No, but then we've lost our stalemate. Yeah, we can't allow that to happen. I think we got to start with this one. Okay, that was correct. Oh, they made it so easy on us. Now, does the move order matter? Yes, of course. No, wait, don't tell me. Like the NPR. Okay, check, king takes. Doesn't matter. This is important. If queen goes here, if we go here first, takes, check. There's no mate that they have. Wait, so if check first, that seems more forcing. Check, if they don't do anything, we take. If they take, we just hang the rook. Oh, they hang the rook, takes, that's a stalemate. Doesn't matter. Well, one way works, one way doesn't. I feel like there's got to be some kicker with one of them that doesn't, something that throws us off. That's very important. Here, they don't have to take, that's the thing. But what do they have? What if you go here, he takes, you go here, he's still pinned. Oh, they just defend. They defend the. They just defended and then we're down a rook. But when you go here first, you'd be decoying the queen. Now, if you check and if they move, you get to take the queen and then it's rook versus rook. Okay, that's why. That's very important. But you just drop the rook down and it's over. Because now we have this move, and it's nice because when the king takes, it clears the rook for him. So cool. We get 10 in a row. Yeah, it's 11:30 now. Okay. So I think I'll settle with that for now, but then we'll keep trying to climb up. We got 25, 50. So I think I went from 25, or was it 35 after the first tactic? Yeah, I was like around 25, 30. So we're moving up, but we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm not even gonna go for one more for good luck. That'll be bad luck. I'm gonna stick with that. We got endgame tactics, pin, skewer, stem. Okay, I think that was yeah, better than I usually do actually. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. I think I got to work on in terms of what I need to do for the tournament. My own, you got to be real about your analysis. Now, if you're not with your self analysis, if you're not objective, then you need to have a coach. But I think I'm to the point. Yeah, I've been working with someone recently with the national master who's I don't think you need to necessarily work with the grandmaster. I have a grandmaster Akobian, Varusian Akobian. He was my coach in high school. We were both from we were in LA. I started working with right when he became a GM. He was like 19. That's when I started working. I think he was 18, 19. So I think it was just after IM. That's when I started working with him. And he helped me get through to candidate master internationally. And then he got me basically up to 2,200 FIDE. And then I took a break for college and everything. But yeah, now I've been on my own more recently, except for working with the coach recently a few times, which has been helpful. But generally, yeah, I do like to be independent. But I think if you're going to do that, you have to be an objective. So I think right now I've been doing, and during my lessons, I work with my students on end games a lot. So when I help my students with that, I just happen to benefit from it too. So I've been doing end games. That's probably been helping with some of the precision. Yeah, probably openings, honestly, because openings, it's good to do tactics and openings before tournaments, and then along the way, you got, of course, you work on your grand strategy, right? You work on understanding plans and stuff. But when it comes down to it for a tournament, yeah, you got to be precise. You got to try to make the best moves out of the opening. Um, you know, if you're playing it, especially if you're playing it expert to master level, but it always helps. So unfortunately, I like 960 because you don't have to do that. I would love to play in a 960 tournament coming up. Let's see, were there any thoughts about the tactics? Where was it? Let's see. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Sahar. Please tell your stream time, sirs, that we will catch you on time. Oh, well, good thing you caught me, but how do I tell you my stream time? I mean, do I tell you like a day ahead of time or what? Because I mean, it depends, you know. Though you sound clear, I do have my speakers turned up a tad more than usual. One of your speakers, oh, yeah, something with the speaker recording setting, moot in comparison to the value of thinking a line through. Thank you. To the end. Thank you. Okay, okay. Let me think of your name. Because I know who you are, but I can't think of the alias right now. Because I know we played a lot of 960. Um, Let me think. I know when I look on chess.com, we'll see, but I always have trouble. Like if someone on Facebook, if someone changes their name, like they put up some pseudonym or something, I'm like, what was their real name? So yeah, I'm trying, but yeah, we had some good times, good 960 games. I think Reno, Cali. Yeah, I remember you said you were like we talked about in the Bay Area. I think you were talking about the solar eclipse and stuff with them, making the refracting the shadows through the trees and stuff. It's cool stuff. Um, but yeah, glad you guys joined me, and hopefully that was helpful in terms of thinking through tactics. And I'll show you the if you find it useful. It was a tactic solving checklist. Tactic solving checklist. As the El Tenedor means the fourth in Spanish. Um, there's my pseudonym. Using Spanish there. Yeah, this was kind of like a supplement to what I was just talking about. The way that I would approach some tactics, things I've learned and things that I've developed, things that I've learned through others and things and reading and things that I've developed myself that I like. Because I think it's good to sort of develop your own chess theory. Like anything, if you want to think independently, you have to find out what works for you. So yeah, always invert. That's the thing. That's the key thing. But yeah, defensive calculation, inversion, deleting the glitch or overcoming an obstacle. Look for points of tension, of course, like so you know what point of the board to focus on. Simplify complexity, and take a step back. Look for the big picture if it doesn't work, and then you got to don't forget about your quiet moves, which are at the bottom of the forced move hierarchy as the least forcing moves. Um, and then yeah, so let me know if you have any others as well that have worked for you. But those are just rules of thumb, and then you got to address the position at hand. So, all right, thanks for joining me, and good luck on your tactics.